happen to know a lot of people that are starting university for the first time next year, and majority of them have been asking, well, what exactly is university like? Well, that video is coming up very soon, so definitely subscribe and turn on the notification so you do not miss that video. But today we're going to be speaking about the things that you need to do to prepare for university. So since most of you are stuck at home for the next 3 months, these are things that I found that you need to do while you wait for university to start in March. So let's get into it. Obviously, the first thing you need to do is do a follow-up. From January until at least late March, there's going to be a lot that is going to be happening with your application. This is either you're going to be declined, or they're going to be asking for missing paperwork, or there's certain documentation that they're going to require of you, or they're not going to tell you anything and you need to go out and inquire about your application. So it is very important that you're calling them and you're emailing them so that you know how far your application process is. And this step is very important, especially for international students, because they're very nitpicky about certain documents. There's a whole drama that happens with that. So please go follow up on your application. The next important step is finding out what your possible costs might be for the next year. There's a lot of financial issues that happen with university, so it is better to know what they are so you can better plan for them than just going in blindly. If you go down in the description down below, I've given you a list and I've explained what each of the different expenses are, so I will not dwell a lot on this one, but what I can say is you need to have a list of what your expenses are, what the possible cost is. Look at the budget that you have saved up or inherited, scholarship, etc., to see what it will cover so that you can find a way to meet the balance that is left over, and this will lead us into our next step. The next step obviously is to get a job or find some way to get some income. There's a lot of different things that you can do to get yourself an income. You can go babysit, you can house sit, pet sit. There's a whole lot of different things. You can go on Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, etc. Please just make sure that whatever work you're going to be doing, it's legit and you're not scammed out of money, because the whole scamming thing is at an all-time high at the moment since there's a lot of people that are unemployed. So please be very careful, but you need to find some way to get money. The next important thing that you need to get yourself organized on is accommodation, and this will all depend on the type of finances that you have. So if you're on a bursary or a scholarship, majority of them do cover your accommodation, so obviously you need to start applying for accommodation on campus or close by. If your finances are not working out, you need to decide whether you're going to be living off campus. There's some houses that are rented for students, or if you're going to be staying at home. And once you've found out where you're going to be staying, you need to start visiting those places. Obviously, if you're staying at home, you know what your house looks like. But if you're going to be staying close to campus, please go visit the places that you're planning to rent out. Pictures on the internet, yes, they do lie. So you need to go see what type of facilities they offer. Is it self-catering, or is it going to be catered to? They offer laundry service, is there Wi-Fi, and that sort of thing. There's a lot of important things that a student accommodation needs to have, and you need to find out if that accommodation is going to provide for it, and you need to make sure that the area is safe so that should you be staying there, you do not get yourself into unnecessary complications. Then if you're going to be staying at home, this would be a good time for you to start looking at your house, how you can rearrange your room or your living environment so that you have a dedicated area for your studies. I've also created another list of the type of stationery that you might need to have if you're staying at home, so definitely go look down below in the description box. And the last thing with regards to accommodation is please learn to cook. I'm being serious. There's a lot of students that are going to university and they still don't know how to cook. You've got 3 months. Please learn at least 3 breakfast meals, lunch and supper, so that you do not starve when you go to university or live on takeaways, because that's going to be a lot more expensive than if you're cooking for yourself. And should you know how to cook, start thinking of ideas of how to meal plan. You're not going to have time to cook every single day, and to avoid eating unhealthy takeaways, Try meal planning. If you think it tastes weird and that sort of thing, try it out now while you're at home, where you cook meals for at least 3 days in advance and see how it tastes, if you like it, and that sort of thing. The next step is finding out your transport arrangement. So if you're staying at home, you need to find out, are you going to be using public transport or are you going to be driving? If you're going to be using public transport, you need to get a fee estimate of how much it's going to be. You also need to see if the public transport will still be available late at night and early morning, because for university you might be doing tests. Majority of them, they finish by 6, 7ish, so you need to know if there's going to be public transport from university to home during those late hours. So those are things to consider when you're sorting out your transport. The next 2 steps, they are summarized in the links down below, because I'm doing you a favor. I'm writing all of this down so that you can print it and have a stationery list. So what I'm referring to is shopping for your dorm and shopping for your outfit. Firstly, for your dorm, I'd honestly don't splurge or try to be over the top, especially when you're just moving in and it's your first year. Firstly, just get the basics so that you're able to live, and then it still looks cute and it does its purpose, which is for you to sleep, to eat, and to study. With regards to your clothes, honestly, don't buy a lot. The main outfit that I can say you need to have is you need to have comfortable shoes. There's going to be a lot of walking around in university from one building to another, so you need to have shoes that are comfortable. And yes, when we start university, we're all trying to look cute, have different outfits every single day. That's gonna get tiring and you're gonna get so fed up of having a lot of laundry to do. So I would suggest that you get basics, 4 jeans, 4 cute tops, especially ones that are like neutral colors, like your black, your whites, your grays, and your browns. The one where you can put on and your outfit looks cute without putting a lot of effort. Get those type of outfits. They're going to save you a lot of time and money. Number 7, the most important step I believe in this whole process is the admin of it. So I'm quickly going to look at my list so I can just name it and then I'll explain. The first thing is getting a bank account, learning how to budget, joining Facebook pages, research, and then extracurricular activities. So the first one, you need a student account. You can't be using your parents' account details. It's not gonna work at university. They require you to have your own. So do your research, go to the different banks. For me, I'm using FNB. I think that's the best one for students, but some people prefer Capitec. While still talking about banks, please learn how to budget. I believe when we start university, we all get very excited because, we've got a lot of money, we've got pocket money, and we splurge. We use it and we forget that, there's month end. Because, hey, it becomes a thing in university. So please learn how to budget and use your money wisely. Don't just use it just because your friends are going to buy at Vida Cafe on campus and that sort of thing. If something is not within your budget, please do not use it. Plan out what you plan to use. Plan out your monthly expenses. If you need to do your hair, write it down. If you need to buy stationery, write it down. Work according to your budget, and should you have extra, then you can go out and have fun. If you do not have extra, guess what that means? You can't go out. The next admin issue is join Facebook pages. So if you know what university you have been accepted into, start looking at their Facebook pages. Majority have them for every single year so that prospective students can join, see what activities are happening on campus. You can go ahead and ask questions. People start selling their textbooks early during the year, so that would be a great place for you to look for second-hand textbooks and notes at a very cheap price. It also helps you to find out what extracurricular activities are offered on the school. And then the next thing, you can look on the university websites. They usually have the course module guides so that you just see what course you're going into, what modules you're going to have. You can start doing some reading. You can start looking at what type of note-taking system that you're going to have, and that will determine what type of stationery list that you're going to be having for the year. So this is a great time for you to literally stalk your future university to find out more about it and what it offers, and just give you a bit of a background of what you need to have, so that when you do go to orientation, you're not as lost. Another thing is you need to spend time with your family. If you're an international student and you are watching from outside South Africa, or even if you're in South Africa and you're going to be moving provinces, or if you're going to be living on campus, you're going to be away from your family for a really long time. Yes, with COVID, we might still be doing online lessons, but let's think of this in a positive light and say we're going back to campus. This is the time for you to spend time with your family because you're going to be away from them for a really long period of time, especially if you're a nursing student. It's even worse. But you're going to be away from them for at least 6 months at a time. You can go during Easter weekend and that sort of thing. But should money be tight, you might actually end up seeing them only at the end of the year. So this is the time to spend time with your family. I know some of us, we are tired of them. We've been stuck with them for the whole year and we just want a break. But trust me, you're going to miss your family. So this is the time to bond with them, because when school starts, yeah, you're going to miss them. You need to update your curriculum vitae or CV or resume or resume, whatever the word is in your country, that's the word. You need to update it. So obviously you've graduated from high school, or you graduated from a different course and you're applying again to do your postgraduate, or whatever the instance is, you need to update your curriculum vitae. Just update that you've graduated from high school, what type of roles were you involved in high school. If you're doing some social outreach work during the holidays, include that. If you're working during the holidays, include that, because when you start university, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you in university to apply for jobs, be a student mentorship partner, and that sort of thing. And for those positions, you need to have your CV and it needs to be updated. This will just save you a lot of time during the course of the year. So those are my tips of the things that you need to be doing right now to prepare for university. If I missed anything, definitely comment down below and let me know what things you should be doing to be preparing for university. And like I mentioned, there's a lot of checklists down below that you can have free of charge. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it to more people that you believe would benefit from this video. Until next week, thank you so much for joining me on this video. Have an awesome day. Bye. Wait. Firstly, thank you so much for making it all the way to this video. Thank you so much for subscribing. There's been a lot of new subscribers that I've been seeing in the past few days, so thank you so much for that. If you missed my video from last week, obviously you can click over here to see it, or if you'd like to binge watch my content, you can watch over here. And the last thing I would like to ask you is go check out my website. There's a lot of written content that I've made there. All the links and the description box. Thank you so much.